use to let people know their products exist. One is what's called word of mouth advertising. People hear about things from their friends and family and that type of stuff. And then the other one is multimedia advertising, where people see things on the internet and that type of thing. Now, both of those forms of work, TV, commercials, all that kind of stuff, and both of those forms of advertising work, but which would you say is more effective when you're trying to hit a target audience?
Word of mouth.
Why would you say that?
Well, if I spoke to my mother and she bought something and said, "Aunt Tilly, this is great, you should try it," I'm gonna go right off what she says.
Absolutely. Yeah. You wouldn't believe the guy on TV saying it's
Not
great?
really.
Right. Yeah, if you saw him out watching on TV this morning, cutting up rope and leather, how long would you even watch it? A second. Okay, trick penny. And you move on. And so, but yeah, if your friend or a family member said, "Hey, you got to try this stuff," even if they don't show you anything, you'd be more interested in and believe the information a lot more. And by the way, most companies long term will survive based upon their word of mouth advertising. And most companies, a lot of companies don't even use any multimedia advertising. You think of someone who's a doctor or an accountant or somebody who has a restaurant or somebody who's a tutor or schools. This is how they get their clients and get their customers. And so, hairdressers like you want forever. So it works really well with us too. I'll show you how well it works here. Even if I don't offer you a job here today, how many of you are still going to go home and tell somebody something positive about Cutco products? Try not to. See if you can pull that off. How'd it go? I won't talk about it. So, you don't want to do that. This guy cut a pen. So, and I wasn't trying to sell the products to you just now. When I sit down with a customer, I spend a lot more time and I get to know them and I do a much better job. But I was just showing you the basic product and you were impressed. And when we sit down with a homeowner, there's somebody who cooks on a daily basis and really sees this as a practical item for them. Well, guess who homeowners talk to and socialize with? They're homeowners, people just like themselves. And what we found is, as we're talking to a customer about the products, half the time they don't even listen to what the reps are saying. They're just sitting there going, "Oh, my sister would love this. Oh, that lady at church, she cooks all the time." They have all those people who keep popping in their head, as we're showing them products. And so what our reps do at the end of the appointment, since we have the customer's interest peak so high, is we have them fill out one of these. This is what's called a recommendation form. This is my rep's Liz up there. Now Liz goes to school at Medgar Evers, and she met with Grace Harrison, was her customer. Now this lady Grace, at the end of the appointment, decided to jot down all these people that she wanted to recommend to Liz. Now, why do you think this lady felt so comfortable giving out this information when she probably would never do that over the phone or in a store or something like that?
Because it's more personal. Like she got to sit in front of the person, get to know them, look at the product herself, and see how it works, and she knows right there who would want it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if this lady Grace bought it, doesn't tell me on these papers, but would you say she was impressed by the product?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've yet to see someone who wasn't. And we found even the people who don't buy still refer us to other people. And they go, "Oh, money's kind of tight for me right now. I just wanted to kind of see it, but maybe in a month or so I have some more money, I can get some stuff." And then the next thing out of their mouth is like, "But you've got to show this to my friend. He bought everything." Yeah. And people just like to be the first person to know about stuff. So that's the first thing. Obviously, Grace liked the product. Also, do you think Liz did a good job?
Yeah.
Okay. She better. I pay her a lot of money. So her job is to do a good job. If Liz was being high pressure with the customer, or if she was doing sympathy sale tactics, like, "Oh, come on, just buy something. I'm a college student. You just help me out. I don't want to lose my job. Just get a table leg, please," and saying stuff like that, she might get another sale, somebody buying to get rid of her. But is she going to get any recommendations if she tries that? No one's going to want their family member to go through that type of experience. And so it's very important to us that our reps don't do that type of thing. And so we pay them regardless of the sale happen. So obviously Grace liked the product, and Grace liked Liz. Well, it's people, products, and programs. Well, how do you think Grace Harrison found out about Liz Freeman and Cutco products in the first place? Somebody wrote down Grace Harrison here, and Liz followed up and turned into a customer. And for the last 28 years, 29 years now, as a company, we've had over 16 million customers, and every single one has come off one of these pieces of paper. And we've never done it any other way. And not only does that work really well, because we keep growing every year, but how much does that advertising program cost? How much does it cost that piece of paper if you would? Liz uses a notebook now. I don't think we're paper anymore. So as far as it goes, we don't pay anything to advertise, which is the major expense of most companies, is their advertising expenses. So if we're not paying any money to advertise our products, what can we afford to do with all the money that we save in that area? Yeah. So our pay rate comes from somewhere, and that's where it comes from. And as a company, we know that we'd rather invest in our people than give it to some outside source. And because if you pay people minimum wage, well, guess what kind of people you have on your team?
Minimum workers.
And that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for good people who are going to represent our company in the proper way. And so it's very important to our company that we have the best people, and we have to pay them obviously accordingly. So as far as it goes, let me show how we use this information. I'll go through some hours and shifts and things. With our reps, I have reps right now. We're working all kinds of different shifts. I have a lot of different schedules on my team right now. But we consider a part-time rep with our company any rep that's doing between 8 to 20 appointments a week is part-time. And we consider full-time reps doing anywhere between 20 to 30 or more appointments a week. Something more than 30, but not many. As far as this goes, I guess I'll keep talking about Liz. Now Liz started with us last summer. She goes to school at Gravers, and she started with us full time, and she was doing about 25, 30 appointments a week. Then when she got school came around, then she kicked back just to part time. She just works on the weekends now, and now she's like a month she'll go back to full time again when she has more time. But currently she just works on Saturday and Sunday. She'll typically do between 4 to 5 appointments on those 2 days, and so she'll do 8 to 10 appointments a week. So let's say she did 5 appointments this past Sunday. Now, at the end of each appointment, Liz will end up getting recommendations. Now, obviously, each person is not going to give her the same amount of recommendations. It changes every time. So, this person, let's make some numbers, might give her 3. This person might give her 7. This person might give her 5. Sometimes you run into people and they go, I don't know anybody. That's it. However, sometimes you run into people and they're like the PTA mom or the church lady, and they know like everyone in the entire neighborhood. And they take out a directory and like fill the page. Some people give a lot, some people give a little. It's just kind of how it goes. We found that our reps will average anywhere between 5 to 10 recommendations on an appointment, regardless of the sale occurring during that appointment. Now, what will happen is now Liz has been referred to these people, but what Liz will do is she'll ask the original client to call their friends or talk to whoever they recommended before she does anything with those recommendations. Now, what do you think these people are going to tell their friends and family or whoever they recommended? They're talking about, well, first off, they're going to talk about the product. That's why they're recommending. They like the product. Sometimes they sell the products even more than my rep does. So you've got to buy this stuff. they can be precious because it's their sister. However, but they also talk about Liz, and they talk about the rep, the person they met with, and what a good job she did and how they liked her. Well, who do you think these people then want to hear from next?
Liz.
Yeah, that same rep. And obviously, if I had a telemarketing staff, or if I was calling these people for Liz, what do you think these people would say to me, Matt Washington? How'd you get my number? So they're not going to talk to me at all. However, when Liz contacts her own people, and we teach our reps in our training program how to speak to people properly on the phone, but she'll say something along the lines of, hi, Dorothy Thomas, my name is Liz Freeman from Camcorder Cutlery. I sat down with a friend, Grace Harrison, the other day. Did she mention I'd be giving you a call? Usually they say something like, oh, you're the girl that cuts the penny. Something like that. So with that conversation starting off that way, would you say it's pretty easy for Liz now to set up new appointments with these people? Yeah, because they know who she is, they know what she's talking about, and they've been recommended. So on a weekly basis, currently Liz is doing 10 appointments a week. Well, averaging 5 to 10 recommendations means at the end of the week she'll have anywhere between 50 to 100 new people that she can follow up with. Now, Liz only does 10 appointments a week, so do you think she's going to have to call all of these people just to set up another 10 appointments? No. So she'll call these people until she gets her 10. Once she sets up 10, then she stops calling. She doesn't have any more time to do any more work. Now, when she sees these 10